and an undiscovered world awaits me. A magnetic force is attracting me like a needle across the sea. I try in vain to imagine it as a place of frost and desolation, but it presents itself to me as an irresistible destination. There is something at work in my soul that I don't understand, but I shall kill no albatross to reach uncharted land. Chasing the horizon across the frozen sea, unwavering ambition driving me on until I sail beneath the sunset to a land of eternal light. I'll be the first to reach beyond the night. It's growing colder by the day and the isolation overwhelms me, for I have no friend who shares my dream or envisages the wonders I see. When blizzards blind and deafen me, in my heart I picture my goal. When thirst and hunger challenge me, a determination feeds my soul. There is something at work inside me that I don't understand, but I shall kill no albatross to reach uncharted land. Chasing the horizon across the frozen sea, unwavering ambition driving me on until I sail beneath the sunset to a land of eternal light. I'll be the first to reach beyond the night. Vast irregular plains of ice have paralyzed our motion. We're left idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. But what is this apparition we glimpse amidst the fog? A gigantic figure in the image of man, striding northward through the endless snow. Closes in, the ice breaks up, but alas the creature is gone. This mystery, it troubles me, but still I journey on. Chasing the horizon across the frozen sea, unwavering ambition driving me on until I sail beneath the sunset into the land of eternal light. I know I'll be the first to reach beyond the night. A new day dawns and the turning tide delivers to me a companion. This morning we rescued a man from the waves, from the very brink of destruction. His limbs were frozen and his body was starved, but despite his wretched condition, his eyes were alive with the chaos inside, and he spoke to us of his mission. He seeks the creature that we glimpsed last night, a vile abomination. He'll rest in peace when he meets the beast, a curse of his own creation. In his voice I hear the echoes of my own determination, but when I share with him my dream, he's gripped by desperation. Unhappy man, he says to me, do you share my madness? You're seeking knowledge as I once did, but it will only bring you sadness. You're thirsty for discovery, a most addictive ale, but you will dash the cup from your lips when I reveal happier childhood than myself. My kind and benevolent parents granted me a great treasure. My eternal love, Elizabeth, a true and devoted companion. My life was always trouble-free till I hungered for adventure. The first misfortune of my life, a moment of misery, struck when I was 17 with the death of my mother. As she lay dying, she placed Elizabeth's hand in mine and said, "I'll rest in peace when the two of you are joined with one another." Life and the secrets of death were the mysteries I was determined to understand. So in time, the power of the divine would at last be mine, and the world would unite to praise the work of Frankenstein. I was a gifted child, and I left Geneva to study overseas. With the loss of my mother fresh in my mind, a vision soon possessed me. It was the secrets of heaven and earth that I desired to learn. But to liberate the spark of life from obscurity, we must examine death. I observed decay and degradation in the human frame. Witness how the world inherits the wonders of the eyes and brain. As I beheld the corruption of the bodies of men, from the midst of the darkness, a sudden light broke in upon me, and the answer was mine. I can see in your eyes, you expect me to share the epiphany, but that cannot be. The secret dies with me. I will not let you walk in the footsteps that only lead to tragedy. With such a power in my hands, no one could make me question or change my plan. I had no doubt in my ability to construct a being glorious as man. The creation of a creature like myself, breathing life into a species of my own design, was the dream that drove me forward, and the vision that blurred the line between right and wrong. In ignorance of consequence, my journey had begun. close. The energy of my purpose alone had sustained me. Now I beheld the accomplishment of my toils. With an anxiety that felt like agony, I collected the instruments of life around me, that I might infuse a spark of being into the lifeless thing that lay at my feet. It was already 1 in the morning. The rain pounded against the panes, and my candle was nearly burnt out when by the glimmer of the half-extinguished light, the magnificent creature I'd salvaged from death convulsed and contorted and gasped its first breath. In that instant, the beauty of my dream twisted into a nightmare. 2 years of devotion turning to revulsion was more than I could bear. I've been blinded by the grandiosity of my intentions. Now as if for the first time I witnessed the atrocity wrought by my hands. Its yellow skin barely covering the muscles beneath. Its straight black lips and pure white teeth had been grotesque when they were incomplete, but now those limbs were rendered in motion. The demon became something else, a beast even Dante could not have conceived, and its eyes were fixed on me, while a monstrous grin wrinkled its cheeks. It stumbled forward, I froze in fear. It might have spoken, but I did not hear. Then as its hand stretched out, I found my feet. I slipped from its grasp and took flight into the streets. My heart was pounding in my chest. The beast was all that I could think of. Its image filled the darkness of the night. The rain was pouring from a black and comfortless sky as I descended into paranoia. Like one who on a lonely road doth walk in fear and dread, and having once turned round walks on and turns no more his head, because he knows a frightful fiend doth close behind him tread. I roam alone.
the murder of two blameless souls. I felt the never-dying worm of guilt alive inside me. I had been the author of evil, no words could ever describe, and more, so much more I feared was yet behind. Sleep fled from my eyes, I wandered like a spirit through the night, and in the light of all my crimes, the shadow of the beast filled my mind. So once again I shunned the face of my fellow man and left my home in search of solitude to the mountains that had once sheltered me from the world. But there was always scope for fear and paranoia in my mind, for as long as anything I loved remained behind. Sleep fled from my eyes, I wandered like a spirit through the night, and in the light of all my crimes, the shadow of the beast filled my mind. Then suddenly I beheld a sight violent horde advancing across the mountainside toward me. The murderous wretch, beast of my nightmares, burning with rage I exclaimed, "Devil, how dare you approach me? Do you not fear the wrath of your creator? Begone, or feel my vengeance wreaked upon your head." Fear had fled from my mind, I chased the demon through the night. With murder in my eyes, I closed on him and raised the knife. But when I struck, he easily stopped me and overpowered me in an instant. My life was in his hands when he spoke to me.
I implore you, hear my tale before you give vent to your hatred on my devoted head. I ask you, have I not suffered enough? At the dawn of my existence, my soul glowed with love and compassion. I reached out for my father, but you turned your back and left me for dead. I escaped into the moonlight, into the rain, pouring from the black and comfortless sky. Everywhere I've sought acceptance, I've been greeted by the cruelty of man, the wretched form that that you have given to me is all that they can see. How can I be blamed for the things that I have done? Everything I've suffered has led me to violence and driven compassion from my mind until this monster is all that's left behind. You accuse me of murder, and yet you would, with a satisfied conscience, destroy your own creation. I should be thy Adam, but instead I've become the fallen angel, driven from joy, banished for eternity. Everywhere I see the bliss which I alone will be forever denied. The wretched form that you have given
I could not escape, and my heart sickened within me as the work began to take shape. Where before I had been blind, now I feared all I designed. But the beast's words were endlessly ringing in my mind.
But if you refuse, I will glut the maw of death till it is gorged on the blood of your remaining breath.
Spark of life in my hand. The time had come to complete the creature's plan. When suddenly, to my surprise, he materialized at the window, and as I looked into his eyes, I saw a future filled with devils like him. I realized my madness and saw my work limb from limb.
Look what you've done, and the killer you've become. Do you dare to break your promise? Do you dare destroy my hopes?
Leave me be, I will not repeat my crime. You can never change my mind. I will never forge another wicked as you.
Then it's already too late. You have sealed your own fate. As revenge becomes my guiding light, know that I'll be with you on your wedding night.
I was not moved to fear by the knowledge of my destiny, that on my wedding night the beast would come for me. But when I thought of my Elizabeth and of her years of endless mourning, tears fell from my eyes.
It's more than clear to me now that there is something weighing you down. Now tell me, dearest Victor, the simple truth: do you not love another? Your happiness is all I desire. When I declare to you that our marriage would fill me with misery, if it were not the true wish of your heart. Footsteps into the light, leave the darkness behind us and wash our sorrows away. Together we'll hope to find a glimmer of happiness beyond the veil of our pain. I fear, my beloved Elizabeth, that lit
little joy remains for us on this earth. But know that all I long for is centered in you, and hope that we can pull through. But there is something dreadful I hide, that when revealed to you will fill you with terror, and you will understand why I've become a shadow of the man that you once knew. Footsteps into the light, leave the darkness behind us, and wash our sorrows away. Together we'll hope to find a glimmer of happiness beyond the veil of our pain. But what is this fear that troubles you so? Why are you still so cold? I've given you my life, yet nothing has changed in your eyes. They still betray the truth you hold inside. Our vows have been said, and now that we're wed, I face one more night of dread. Tomorrow I am yours, but tonight there is a wrong that I must right. But as I face my demons, I am given strength by the promise of our future. And at dawn we will take our first footsteps into the light, leave the darkness behind us, and wash our sorrows away. Together we'll hope to find a glimmer of happiness beyond the veil of our pain. Our life together is close at hand, but first I must ask one last thing of you. I beg of you, please understand, my darkest fears are soon to come true. And all that I want is to spare you from the sight of my despair. So promise me you'll stay behind while I confront this nightmare. Frankenstein will learn that there is nothing I won't do.
to punish his betrayal. Then he will see how well I can play the fallen angel when he joins me in hell.
My sentence has come. I'm facing death tonight. He's somewhere in the darkness and I'm ready for the fight. I'll punish his betrayal. I'll make him face the fact I'm the one who gave him life, and I can take it back.
Toward my final act of revenge. Just one more death, and the bloodlust born of my past will be sated at last.
There will be blood. I need to end this for far too long. I have been haunted.
Now I'm the hunter, and through the mist I hear the echoes of footsteps. Could they be his?
An eye for an
And a
eye.
life for a life.
One of us must
He
die.
will pay for his crime
This ends
tonight.
It's my wedding night, but I'm fearful and alone.
I want to show his face. Why hasn't he come for me? Have I been deceived? Is everything quite as it seems?
Retribution
Am I his blood?
lies ahead.
Am I the victim?
I will drink the blood of his beloved.
Just what is this apparition emerging from?
Your dearest victim is my maker, my cursed creator. His actions have condemned you to death. Just know that as you take your last breath, the deed is done.
Dearest Elizabeth,
The war is won.
have I
My
done?
only hope of comfort died by his blade, and now that debt has been repaid.
Why did I not then expire? Why am I still here to speak of the destruction of the purest soul on earth? But life clings the closest where it is most despised. So I live on, and everywhere I see her figure butchered by the beast of my creation. Now every night and every day my life has just one meaning. Revenge alone has given me strength and kept my broken heart beating. My limbs are frozen and my body starved, but I do not feel the affliction. For I have been cursed by something far worse, an uncontrollable addiction. I chased the creature you glimpsed last night with tireless devotion. From the desert sand to the mountains and across the frozen ocean. But I've reached my last horizon and failed in my mission. I am to die and yet he lives, so hear this proposition. If he appears, then swear to me, satisfy
face the loss of my companion. My thoughts return to reality and the family that I've abandoned. I've reached the land of discovery, but my outlook on life has changed. I won't let ambition devour me. I will free myself from its chains. Chasing the horizon across the frozen sea has brought me no real happiness, just driven me down till I no longer seek the passage to the land of eternal light. The tide has turned, my lessons learned, and I will do what's right. But before we set sail, I hear movement from where Victor's body lies, and a voice which sounds more beastly than human. There in the cabin, the misshapen form of the creature hangs over the corpse of its maker.